Hello and welcome to the sixth episode of this series. In this episode, I'm going to build upon what I started in episode number 5. In episode number 5, we created this controller, even though the data is still fake. It is not coming from a real database. It is much better than the previous version of our implementation. At least right now, we've got our endpoints. We've got a controller that we can connect to and fetch our data. Again, the next step would be to move this data into a database and get the data using a data access layer. Now, from our client-side application, if we want to get to the data to this controller and fetch some data, we're going to need a dependency on HttpClient. And the good news is that HttpClient is already registered and configured to call this backend API application. So all we need to do, for example, instead of the patient's page here, we need to inject a dependency of type HttpClient, and then we need to update, for example, the application to kind of show the data using the backend API. So this is exactly what I'm going to do. By the way, I'm going to remove this part as well because this patient's page is going to be responsible for showing a list of patients only. So we do not want to allow the user to create new patients on this page at least. And then I'm going to create a dedicated page for adding patients in the application. So I'm going to get rid of this piece of code here. You can find it on, I think, episode 4 branch. And I'm going to write the new version. So again, the page directive, I'm going to inject HttpClient. This is a dependency for this page. And then I'm going to, write some Blazor code. If floating is true, I'm going to render this paragraph. Otherwise, if there are some patients or if patient count is equal to 0, I'm going to say no patients found. If patient is null or patient's count is 0. Otherwise, we are going to render a table to go through the patients we have inside of the patients list and print them one at a time. And of course, that patients list is going to be populated using the data the backend API is going to provide. So here we're going to loop over the patients list, and for each one, I am going to render the full name, the date of birth, gender, contact number, and a link to the patient details page. This is again something that we did in the previous episode as well. Let me, close my Blazor code. Now the code block is going to create a patient's list, create a loading flag, and then we're going to override this uninitialized async, which is a lifecycle method, and we're going to use our dependency to get our data from our controller, and then we're going to set loading to false. So again, firstly, the thing is that right now we have overridden. We have created this override for uninitialized async, and we are getting the data using the dependency HTTP. With this, get from JSON async, the type of the data is going to be a list of patient, and this is the endpoint we're going to communicate with. And by default, this will end up here. So it will return all of the patients that we have defined inside of this list. And then we've got this flag. So whenever the data has loaded successfully, we're going to turn off the flag. And if the flag is true, we're going to render this paragraph to kind of show the user that we're in the middle of loading something. And if no patients are found, we're going to say no patients are found. Otherwise, we're going to create this table. And this table is going to go over, each, let's say, patient. And we're going to, render the full name, the date of birth, gender, contact number, and so on. And as before, for each patient, we're going to provide an anchor tag that takes the user to the details page, so to patient details page. So this is the change that we have implemented inside of this patients page. And by the way, I told you we have removed the code for adding a new patient because I want the patients page to only be responsible for showing a list of patients. And we're going to create another page to allow the user to add new patients. So that's a wrap for this video. I hope you've enjoyed watching it. Keep watching the upcoming videos as well. We're getting to some interesting topics. This tutorial is going to have 10 episodes, so still 4 more episodes to go. And during episode 10, I'm gonna tell you what you can do in order to continue your learning. Thank you so much again for watching this episode. See you in the next one.